Well, unfortunately, we hear about it way too often in the news, dog attacks. And this morning, we were at the Seattle office of the Davis Law Group with Chris Davis, who's practiced law for more than 15 years and has written a book about this very subject called When the Dog Bites, the Essential Guide to Dog Bite Claims in Washington. Chris, thank you for being here this morning. This is a pretty specific subject. Why did you want to write a book about it?
Well, it's part of our practice area here, and unfortunately we do see a sizable portion of dog bite claims in my office, and many of them are tragic and very sad cases, and most of them probably involve children. And so I wanted to put out a good piece of information for those parents and family members to learn about their rights if they have to deal with the insurance company, to understand what should be done if a claim exists, and how to protect their children if necessary.
So if you're bitten by a dog, how do you know you actually have a legal claim?
I think most people know that when a dog bites or injures another human being, there is a claim, and usually there is. However, if the dog causes any other type of injury or damage, for instance, if the dog chases a young boy and that boy runs out into the street and is hit by a car, a claim may exist in that situation. Or if a dog jumps on a young child and causes that child to fall down the stairs, generally a claim will exist in that situation. It really comes down to whether the owner had the dog or owned the dog, legally owned the dog, and where the incident actually took place, whether it was on private or public property.
All right, so in Chapter 4 you talk about the fact that people who are victims of dog bites make a lot of mistakes. What are some of those?
And by mistakes, I also mean steps that they should do to help protect themselves. But generally, the first one would be to seek prompt medical attention. I can't tell you the number of times that we see a case where the injury appears to be minor at first, but then over time gets rather serious. For instance, if infection sets in. Two, they should contact the proper authorities, whether that mean the police department or actually the animal control. When they get involved, they're going to do an investigation. They'll find out exactly who owns the dog. Witness statements will be gathered, all information that can help during the claim process. Three, with dog bite claims, one of the more central pieces of the claim is the disfigurement or scarring. So I always advise people to take ongoing photographs of the injury as soon after the bite or the injury itself, and then periodically over the next several months as the wound continues to heal.
So you have to deal primarily with insurance companies. Are we talking about homeowners insurance?
Yeah, typically it's going to be the homeowners insurance company that covers the home or the property where the dog stays. But not always. Sometimes there'll be different types of policies. An umbrella policy, for instance, may cover the loss, or sometimes a disability policy may cover for the injured claimant. So usually if there's a question about insurance, I always tell people they should at least consult with a lawyer to find out what their rights may be.
So how do you know who's liable in these cases?
Generally, it's going to be the owner of the dog. But in other cases, though, as I said before, if the dog is being harbored by somebody else, for instance, if the owner goes on vacation and a relative is watching the dog, then that person actually may be responsible if the incident occurred during that period of time.
There's an awful lot of information in here, and you mentioned it's free to the public. How do folks get a hold of it?
They can go to our website, davislawgroupseattle.com, and click on the link and request their free copy of the book, or they can call our office on the number on the screen right now.